let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
No matter what anybody says, I never thought I'd say this myself, but it's time. Stefanski's got to go. There are no consequences for all the bad play, penalties, misalignments. I mean, terrible coaching. Go ahead and get Vrabel before anybody else does. You bring in a good coaching staff to solidify this team once and for all. Stefanski's just not the answer. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is with this guy, but he has no fire, and I don't think the team respects him because they don't get better. Every week, we got to get better. We got to get better. Well, you're not getting better. Who does it fall on? You.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Fred, I know the fan base is aggravated because what they hear. That is typical of a number of the voicemails that we get. Kevin Stefanski says we got to get better. He's trying to take accountability. Let me ask you this. You've been everywhere. You've been through practices, training camp. What changes would you make to the front office or coaching staff? Would you bring in a football guy instead of Deep Podesta? What changes would you make? It's been a disappointing year without question.
This is so many open ways you could make a case for keeping it the same. You could make a case blowing everything up. The biggest thing is, what are your options? Do you have a replacement that's better in place? I thought if you're going to make a change, Mike Vrabel is kind of an obvious choice, but maybe he doesn't want the Browns job. Maybe he wants to be a free agent. Maybe he has background, talks with other teams and feels like there's going to be some bidders for his services. Then again, he might say, I like it here in Northeast Ohio where I grew up and so forth. He was anxious not to step on any toes, and I think he's been great. But you don't know. I'm more concerned with with the bringing in the talent. It seems like Andrew Berry has done a great job in bringing in talent, but then you look at the roster and the most notable players were here before he got here, and then you can argue, yeah, but his drafts haven't been very good because he traded, for Watson and had no first rounds or second rounds the last 3 years, basically. I think he had one last year, but those are 5 players that should be starters or Pro Bowl type players on your team. So you can make a case. Do you want to bring them back? I think at this point, I would say, guys, you got an extension. You're telling me that we're not as bad as our record. You've got this year to turn things around.